What's going on, Empire Builders? Brian Downard here, and we have Sonya. Remind me again how to pronounce it.
McIntyre-Reid.
McIntyre-Reid. Awesome. It was funny. Your name was in the corner, and then as soon as I hit record, it went away, and I was like, "Oh, how do you pronounce it?" But listen, I'm super excited to have you here again. Like we were talking right before we hopped on, the recording is what I'm hoping to do with these interviews is share with other members inside of the community and people within my audience, promote you to them, and kind of just show them that there's other people out there just like you and me who are on this trail of entrepreneurship and are learning. And I think, when I came across your website and saw what you were doing, you instantly stood out as someone that I felt these people could really learn from. So I'm excited to have you here.
No, it's so great to be here. And I think that's such a great idea. So thank you.
You're very welcome. So you are all the way on the other side of the world in Australia, which is awesome. That's why I love the internet.
Yes, I am. So I hope my Australian accent doesn't annoy anyone. I've heard some people tell me that I sound like a bit of a hillbilly.
No, it's funny. I think it's charming when you're in America, when you hear people with Australian accents or British accents. It's kind of charming and makes you actually want to listen even more. Maybe that's just me, but
well, that's the thing. I need to be doing more videos.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So maybe in your own words, you can kind of share with us a little bit about your business and kind of how you got into what you're doing right now.
Yes. So I have a business called Kiss Marketing. So digital marketing is what I do best. And to be honest, I think this started about 18 months ago when I was talking to a local business back in my hometown, so quite a small town, about 60,000 people. And this business was actually looking around for someone to do their website. And when I saw some of these quotes for these websites, my mind was blown. The website that they needed was really quite simple. And the quotes for this small country town were between about 5,000 and 15,000. And I just thought, you kidding me, right? Like, I can teach myself how to do this. I've got a marketing degree. I'm going to try my hand at web design. So I'd never been trained in web design, but I dove in and I started learning. And quite soon after that, a family friend who also had a business approached me and said, look, we're starting a business. I'd really like you to design our website. Can you send us a quote? So I remember sitting at the time in my lounge room at my parents' house going, I don't know what to quote these people. These people are family friends. And I was sort of saying to my dad, he's always been a business owner. He's had a number of different businesses in the online world. For him, he just doesn't get it. But he turned around and he's like, well, what's everyone else quoting? And I told him, and he said, oh, wow, like, I don't know, just quote whatever you think. And so I sent them over a quote for $1,000. And at the time, I was like, they're not going to pay this. This is absurd. Like, no way. I haven't even built a website. What am I doing? Having all these doubts. And they came back to me within 5 minutes and said, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. And that's sort of how it all started. So I was working full-time in corporate marketing. And during that time, I moved down to Melbourne, so one of Australia's big cities. And, I was sitting there at my 9 to 5, and to be honest with you, I hated it. I would spend some days 6 hours in meetings, not much got done. We used to talk and talk and talk, but there was no action taken. And, we had about 10 people in the marketing team, and each person sort of had their own little role. But I wanted to be doing a bit of everything. I wanted to be doing a bit of web design, social media, email marketing, and I just didn't have the ability to do that. Anyway, my business, I set myself up a website. I started networking a little bit, started being really active on social media, and, sending out a couple of posts every day, started blogging, and I started developing a bit of a following. And I got to the point at the start of this year where I'd taken on so much work. I was getting a lot of inquiries, and I remember going home one weekend and just saying to my dad, I'm so tired. Like, I'm up at 4 o'clock every morning. to try and knock over some work before I go to my full-time job. Then in the evenings I come home and I just get on my laptop and I'm working. And my weekend, I feel like my relationship's suffering. I'm tired. I haven't been to the gym for weeks. And he just said to me, just do it. Walk in there tomorrow, resign, and take the leap. And tell you what, I was so nervous. And I actually thought, you know what, maybe I'll just try and drop back to say 2 or 3 days a week. Maybe that could be a good option. So I actually put that option to work forward to them. And they came back to me and just said, nope, we need someone full time. So I just went, okay, well, I'm going to do this. So that was back in April now. So I've been doing this full time for a few months. April, May, June, July, August, 4 months. And yeah, it's just, I thought I knew so much 6 months ago, but it's just been an absolute roller coaster of, those moments where you're like, oh, I'm awesome, I'm doing such great stuff. And then the next day it's like, oh God, no one's getting back to me. What am I doing? Should I go back and get another job? It's so up and down, but I love it. And I love the flexibility, and yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, that's awesome. And I don't know if this will make you feel any better or worse, but it stays that way through entrepreneurship. There's days you'll still feel like, when you feel like you got it down, where you'll just lose your mind, want to pull your hair out. But what I love, so much, I think, about your story specifically is some of the fear that you had along the way, but you decided to just say, screw it, and invest in yourself and take a chance on yourself and prove to yourself that you can do it. So honestly, congratulations, hats off to have been doing this full time for a while now, because I still remember when I was in college and I was delivering pizzas, and I was able to go walk into that pizza shop and tell them, I'm not going to be working here anymore. And that feeling of just, being able to go full time. And now it's been 4 or 5 years for me. But I really, really love that story, because you're at that place where a lot of people are probably questioning, and do I take the leap? Do I do that? And I love that you're taking those risks on yourself. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you. No, I think that's the biggest struggle is that doubt that you've got in yourself. And you're right. I think sometimes you've just got to say, screw it, and do it, because honestly, can you imagine sitting at your desk, 9 to 5? I read a quote the other day that said, you're far too valuable to spend the next 50 years sitting there from 9 to 5 at a desk, building someone else's business.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine doing that. And I don't think I'll ever go back. So yeah, it's definitely the path I'm on now.
That's awesome. Yeah. And what I think is funny about it too, and it's a quote that I've heard, is, the 9 to 5 world will always be there for you. It's safe. It's easy. You can go back to that. And it's weird. And maybe I'm just crazy, but sometimes I look at people who have 9 to 5 jobs and I almost envy the stability. But then, on the good days, I wouldn't be rather doing anything else. So I love, though, that, again, you just take a chance, knew what you can do, and believed in yourself, and then did that. So awesome. Well, I would love to use this opportunity to maybe talk a little bit about some of the challenges, over the past 4 months you faced, and one being, some uncertainty, which all of us can relate to. But, maybe other things you've struggled with, or maybe even things you found success in that you're doubling down on.
Yeah, so it's something I sort of struggled with to begin with, was how do you get that consistent flow of inquiries from customers, or potential clients. So my strategy up until the point that I quit my job was really about content creation for me, running some Facebook ads, building your email list, all that stuff that we're taught to do. And I got to the point where I was like, it's making me feel too anxious. I feel like I'm sitting there waiting for people to come to me, waiting for them to almost go, you're good enough and I want to give you money. And that's, I saw something that said there's a point in time where you've got to go from being the hunted to being the hunter. And to be honest with you, I'm not one of those people that will walk in a room and just network and make those connections and really have that mission happening. I'm quite shy and reserved. So for me, it was a really big, I guess, mindset shift to be like, okay, put yourself out there, approach businesses that you want to work with. And I think I actually came across your training about approaching people. And during that time, I'd actually seen a fair bit of stuff with, other people saying the same thing. So, using LinkedIn, those cold emails, those kind of things. And I just thought to begin with, I can't do a cold approach. It's just not me. I hate when I get those emails myself. I feel like I'm getting emails from people in India all the time trying to and I don't want to be that person. But, I really switched my mindset with that, and I have been really, really active on LinkedIn approaching people. So, I've been connecting with a lot of business owners in Australia and other countries as well. And what I do is I go in and I check out their profile, I check out their website, I see they've got the Facebook pixel installed, when was the last time they had their website updated, all that kind of stuff, and really looking at what they're doing around their digital marketing. So from there, what I do is I reach out to them and I go, hey, thanks so much for connecting with me. I took an interest in what you're doing in your business, and I did a bit of research on your website and your Facebook or whatever it is that I found. By the way, I just noticed that this link doesn't work. Just so they know for sure that I've actually looked at what they're doing. And to be honest with you, I have sent hundreds of these messages. A lot of the time people don't respond. Sometimes people say, oh, hi, thanks for letting me know. Actually doing this in-house at the moment, or, some other excuse, which is fine. And I just go, that's fine. Look, here's my website if you've ever got any questions. But I have 4 meetings in the next 2 days set up with business owners.
That's awesome.
Just sort of said, oh, you know what? I'd like to know more about what you do. So, when you're looking at your hit rate, I think you can become a bit discouraged and go, I've sent hundreds of these messages, but it only takes a handful of clients for you to be booked out, essentially, especially if you're doing the retainer model. And that's been another learning curve for me, going from project-based work to retainer work. That has just absolutely changed my business. And I think for anyone here watching this who are in the early stages, you need to get your head around not just going for those one-off web contracts or graphic design projects or whatever you're doing, because it's too hard to keep finding those new clients. So if you can get someone on retainer, for me, my retainers look like a mixture of some Google AdWords, some social media, maybe some website management, content creation. And another tip, I'm sort of rambling here. But
this is great. This is perfect because, again, I want people in the community to learn from people like yourself who are a few steps ahead of them. And again, there's a lot of people working full-time jobs right now or even scared to make the leap and do this at all. So this is really great stuff. So please keep going.
So something else that I've really, in regards to that retainer work, is whenever I'm quoting someone or doing up a proposal, I will do 2 options. So I have a 3-month minimum contract option for a higher price, and then a 6-month contract option for a lower price. And that has really, really helped my business. And then, to be honest with you, even if they take the 3 months and they're paying the higher price, look, I'm happy. But we usually get to the end of those 3 months and they renew. And by that stage, they've forgotten about that higher and lower option. They renew for another 3 months at the same price. So, right. And it gives you time to build up that relationship as well. So really, really recommend doing a minimum of 3 months, and having clear deliverables and setting expectations. And this is something I quite struggle with in my own head around marketing, is really, what are you promising these people and what's realistic for their budget? So anyone who's doing any Facebook advertising out there, it's pretty rare that you can send out, say, a traffic campaign and expect that to convert with cold leads to customers. I think a lot of the time that's what a lot of business owners do when they're starting out, and it doesn't work. Recently, I've been working with a cosmetics company, and as you know, video is just massive on Facebook. And we've actually taken a really different approach, which has really changed the game for me with my Facebook advertising. And we've been doing tutorial videos that are quite short, about 45 seconds long, to a cold audience with the video views objective. So we're getting our video views down to less than 1 cent per view. I feel like I have an audience of about 14,000. So this woman doesn't have an email list. Following on social media, it's there, but it's not engaged. So, for example, we'd send out a post on her Facebook page and we're reaching no one. Like, it's just been really dead. So for us, I guess our audience is now in this audience that's watched the videos. So we've collected that. We've created a custom audience of these people to then retarget them. So for me, it's like a massive win to be getting these video views at 1 cent or less. Massive audience now, 14,000 engaged people. But it's that next step of actually converting them to customers that, to be honest with you, I struggle with. And that's when I sort of start putting doubts on myself and my abilities, and, that fear sort of comes back in when you're looking at it going, okay, this looks great on paper, but at what point does this convert to sales?
And I think that's why expectations are important, like you were saying. People, it's not your job to sell. It's your job to get them leads. So, as you're doing your prospecting and you find clients and you get people who tell you, yeah, we close, 1 in 5 or 1 in 3 people who walk through our doors. So you can say, okay, well, if I can get you this many leads, then this is how many you should be able to close based on what you told me. So you put that ball in their court instead. And it's really not your job to sell. And I missed that too. I had a big e-commerce client and we were doing all their marketing, and there was the expectation that we needed to sell stuff for them. And that was really, really difficult because I had never done that before. So yeah, expectations are key. And it sounds like you're learning that for sure right now.
Oh, massively. And I think, expectations need to be different for each client as well. I mean, for my service-based clients, you're exactly right. It's not your job to sell. It's your job to get them traffic, to get them leads, that kind of thing. But when it comes to this cosmetics company, I have built that website. I'm the one running these campaigns. So for me at the moment, I'm sort of having this moment of doubt where I'm like, no one's buying. What is going on? But the woman I'm working with, she's amazing, and I've sort of had to say to her, look, it's about growth, it's about building up brand recognition. Sales aren't going to happen right away. In the back of my mind, I'm going, oh my god, am I going to get these sales? But every time I've come up with a situation like this, I've learnt so much more, and I always figure it out. So yeah, it's at times it's scary, but you've also got to look at everything as a challenge and not be so hard on yourself. I think that's a big one.
I'm really hard on myself. I don't know if you saw the bloopers, but it's pretty funny. I don't swear that much. Like, I'm a really calm person, but I was like close to punching my phone. I don't even know why. So I just was trying to perfect it. So let me ask you, I don't want to turn this into a consulting session, but this client, are they a startup? Do they have sales outside of this? Or is this like we're starting from scratch?
No, we're starting from scratch. This is another one of my light bulb moments.
Yeah, that's very difficult to service those clients.
And I tell you what, for me, this client came on board with me while I was still working my full-time job, and really interesting because I actually created a program, which I'm no longer running because I realized how much work it is and that whole expectations versus the outcomes kind of thing. But basically with this program, I sat down, I wrote a total strategy, looked at her current sales, looked at traffic, looked at absolutely everything. So this strategy was 40 pages of data that had been analyzed and, all of that. Redid her branding, totally rebuilt her website from scratch, set up Google AdWords campaigns. I've been teaching her how to do that. Same with Facebook. And yeah, it's just a lot of her followers, I think, in the past have been purchased. So that's really, really hard to look at, okay, engagement versus reach and all of that stuff. But yeah, she's just starting out. And the thing is, I seem to be attracting a lot of these clients. And to be honest with you, I'm trying to get away from that. because it is very, very hard to convert these people to paying customers when they're first starting out. And I think anyone watching this, as you're first starting out, a lot of people will look at you and go, okay, I'm just first starting out too. This person's going to be cheap. I'm going to, they're going to want the world for nothing.
Yeah.
And look, it's so easy to begin with to think, I'll take anyone and everyone, and whatever their budget is, I will just work to that budget. But you can't do that, because I find the clients that pay me the least are the ones that expect the most. What you really want are those clients that, see value in what you're doing. Their expectations are right. They're not relying completely on digital marketing. I think that is a really big one. You can't rely just on digital marketing. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I mean, until we get better as marketers, it's hard to deliver for those types of clients. I mean, the positive I hear and sounds like from is you are very, very insightful. I mean, you are realizing these things very quickly. So that's good, because a lot of people, they'll continue to do that, as I did when my business was first starting out. I had multiple startups offer me equity in a company that they had no idea how to grow. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it, because I think I know marketing. And it doesn't work out very well, because even if you're getting paid, that might not last for that long if you can't earn them money. And if you're not getting paid, you're going to spend a lot of time spinning your tires when you probably just should have been doing your own thing. But yeah, what you said there, a lot of people, number one thing you take away from this video is find clients who are already successful and help them amplify that success. And if you have any clients who are like the ones you described, act like you don't have that client and pursue other business, because at any moment, it could go away. Like, I had this startup that I was working with, and they had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of money that they could invest into it. And I was on a retainer. We were helping do some things. And all of a sudden one day, like, oh, well, the money's gone and you're fired. So yeah, you'll have those situations where if it's a startup and they're relying on you to do everything for them, it puts you in a dangerous place. So you might have to work with a few of those people in the beginning just to get the education, like you said, learn, because I think everything's a learning experience. We don't fail, we fall forward. So, but that insight is key. And I think people need to learn from that.
Oh, absolutely. And, I found myself about a month ago in sort of an in-between stage where, I'm producing a lot of content, blogging a lot, and I'm really attracting these people that are just starting out, or they have dreams about having a business. And it's really tricky because I love having conversations with these people. And to be honest, it's a bit of an ego boost for me when I'm talking about, the Facebook pixel and these things. And they're like, what? It does what?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And for me, I had to get to the point where, look, I didn't want to not work with these people at all. So I actually introduced an element of coaching into my business to service those people. But I mean, for me, I was, like I said, I was producing a lot of content, but I was attracting the wrong kind of client. And what I realized was that the people that have these successful businesses, they're not spending hours and hours a day scrolling through Facebook and Instagram. The people and my clients were absolutely amazing, would literally land on my website. They'd call me and go, do you do this? And a lot of the time I'd be sitting there going, what do you mean, do I do that? That's exactly what my website says. Like, these people had not even read my website. They had literally clicked on a Google AdWord, went, boom, I need someone. This is what I want. How much? And it was done. Same with LinkedIn. They haven't looked at my website. They don't consume my content. None of that. So I think for me, it's, you learn a lot of stuff about content marketing, and you've really got to look at who your customer is and what their behaviors are. So look, I'm in the process of changing my strategy now. For me, it's going to be heavily focused on, pure strategy, short, quick, actionable video tips to build authority, and make me seem like the expert in my field, which one day I will be. But, quick consumable content rather than, churning out 3 to 4 blog posts a week. So yeah, I think you get an idea in your head sometimes about what's going to work. But, I think there's something someone says about, what's that 20% of action you're taking that produces 80% of your business, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think when you're just starting out, it's really hard to know. And you have this fear of letting go of what you've been doing in the past, because you think, oh, maybe that has been working. Maybe that's why I'm getting these clients. Yeah. So I think being able to take a big step back in your business and look at it, objectively is really important.
Yeah. And it's funny, we're on the sharing the same mind right now, because you were saying some of the things I'm already going to say, like the 80-20 rule. And it's just that you need to triple down on what you see is working and ignore everything else. Because as marketers, a lot of us like to believe we can just blog all day long and people are going to pay us money, but that's not the case. I think content marketing has its place, and the people who are finding your website or your LinkedIn profile subconsciously or even consciously see what you've created and instantly think, okay, she knows her stuff. It's good enough for me. But like you said, people who are going to spend their whole day on your blog or your social media feed, they're not going to be the perfect customers. So yeah, I love all the insights you shared, Sonya. Very, very helpful. I appreciate you coming on. And before we wrap this up, I would love to know, so people who watching this who aren't a part of the Laptop Empire Lab, what was it about our community that kind of attracted you? And what would you say to someone who isn't a member?
Oh my gosh. So I actually said this to you previously, but I wish that I had discovered this community 6 months ago. Because for me, you read so much and you consume so much content about how to do business, and you have this dream about having, your digital marketing and being flexible and being able to work from anywhere. Yes, so I think if you're thinking about starting a business or in your early stages, this community is so invaluable. And Brian's tactics around finding clients and really, I guess, amplifying what works and doubling down on that is so important. I mean, for me, I thought that I could just do the content creation and have my lead magnet and my Facebook ads running and I'd get clients. And to be honest with you, it doesn't work that way. And I had in my head that I really didn't want to meet with people face to face, but that has been so effective at building my business. In the next 2 days, I've got 4 face-to-face meetings with business owners. And even if one of those converts to a client, that's amazing. Those strategies offline and online that Brian is teaching is really important, and also the support from the community. So if you're thinking about joining, do it.
That was awesome. And you're awesome, Sonya. Thank you so much for the kind words. And yeah, you're going to be excited. Just literally before our call, I released the, what did I call it? The Smart Client Acquisition Strategies course. So about 2.5 hours of 7 different client acquisition strategies. I know you're going to like it. I'm sure people in the community will. So thank you again so much for your time. And I'm excited to keep building this worldwide community. I mean, you're in Australia. I'm in America. We've got people all over. So this is awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in.
No, thank you.